Welcome to Wild Battle, where the animal kingdom comes to life in epic clashes, fierce competitions, and wild hunts. An enraged elephant decides to attack two hippos who came to drink water. The mother defends the attack for both of them, since its calf is not yet capable of defending itself. And it takes the brunt of it, so much so that it has to flee from the swift adversary. When lions gather to feast on freshly hunted meat, hungry crocodiles regularly try to join in the feast. However, the royal family is not accustomed to sharing their prey, so the lions have to fend off persistent guests, sometimes even risking their own lives. An entire pride of lions literally hung on the unfortunate giraffe. But at one moment, the animal grew tired of carrying the burden of the clawed paws. The giraffe shook off its tormentors and stomped its foot in frustration, as if telling the predators that approaching it was no longer worth it. The zebra was peacefully strolling through the savannah until it noticed a lioness sprinting towards it. The predator attempted to pounce on its prey and grab it with its sharp claws. However, the zebra had no intention of giving up so easily and delivered a powerful strike, sending its rival into a knockout. During the bullfight, the bull seemed to go crazy and began convulsing with its body. Suddenly, a dog jumped out of the crowd and engaged in a one-on-one struggle with the bull, which was 20 times larger than itself. It proved to be a fatal mistake, as the hefty bull nearly impaled the dog with its horns when it threw it against the barricade. Two young bisons engaged in a confrontation, seeking to determine who was stronger and more dominant. Their sparring could have gone on for eternity, but suddenly, one of the giants unexpectedly backed off, deciding to retreat. It seemed that it had no chance of claiming a dominant role in the herd with such an approach. The lioness desperately clawed at the body of its prey, trying to gain the upper hand. But the zebra was not about to give up so easily and did everything possible to make its attacker suffer as well. Snake versus white heron. I don't know what kind of snake it is, but it looks a lot like a viper. And after all, the little white heron is a pretty rare bird that happened to get bitten by a snake. It must have been hunting toads too. I'm sure the snake didn't attack first, but was just defending itself, for such a big bird was certainly out of its depth. Clawing its sharp fangs into the wing, the viper was not going to let the poor bird go. The white heron defended itself as best as it could, and even pecked the snake in the head, but there was little result. In the end, the heron managed to escape, or rather, it was just let go, after which it crawled to shore with a wounded wing. I don't think that it'll be able to survive, because it has received the full dose of deadly venom. Horse versus crocodile. It's unclear to me why the crocodile caused such aggression to the horse. Perhaps because it got too close to his herd. The black stallion furiously pounced on the peacefully resting crocodile and began trampling on it with its hooves. The shocked crocodile immediately ran to the water, but after a second attempted attack, it still bit the horse's leg. That was the end of their fight, but I think the stallion was very lucky because it could have been much worse. Next is a slightly funny pigeon incident that took place in St. James Park in London, where the pelicans reside. One of the pelicans was starving and decided to eat a pigeon. Pelicans sometimes eat small birds, but they can even swallow a whole duck or a large fish. In our case, the meal was a success. The pigeon had almost no chance to get out. All of this was happening in front of a crowd of visitors who cheered the pigeon on in every way possible, yelling, "Get out!" But it never heeded their hints. One of the onlookers was 44-year-old photographer Paul, who captured the drama. According to him, after eating one pigeon, the pelican caught another and did the same to it. This elephant is undoubtedly a brave lad. It takes a fearless and self-assured animal to casually wade into the water where a multitude of hippos hang out, and even attempt to drive them away from its path. Anyway, I was just shocked when a big green snake's head emerged from the hollow of a tree. The snake, too, was probably shocked by the insolence and stubbornness of the woodpecker, which just got to him. But what could he do? For it must be his hollow, and the snake crawled there to eat his eggs or chicks. I began to wonder what exactly this brave bird is called, and as it turned out, it's the white-billed royal woodpecker, one of the largest woodpeckers in the world fauna, belongs to the rarest birds in the world. Its existence is possible only in the most remote and desolate forests, the massives of which are rapidly diminishing. Clearly, in a fight against such a fat and brazen snake, the woodpecker has little chance, and it is strange that he himself did not become a breakfast after several precise bites. In the end, the woodpecker gave up, probably under the influence of poison, and the snake continued its meal. Friends, who knows what kind of snake this is? Please note it in the comments. The mongoose versus the cobra. Because of its uncommonness in the form of hunting poisonous snakes, mongooses are very much loved in India and are very frequently kept as pets. For the local population, the value of the mongoose is not so much in value as a kind of guardian of the human dwelling from various kinds of snakes. As you can see, the cobra immediately rose to the attack stance, all the time keeping the enemy in front, because if it even for a second turns away, it will immediately grab for the head of the nimble mongoose. There is a myth that the mongoose is not afraid of cobra venom, but it has virtually no immunity. If the snake bites it, it can die. In our case, the cobra was more nimble and managed to bite it right on the nose, and that was the end of their fight. The fate of this brave mongoose is unknown. The jaguar promptly jumps into the water. A moment later, already with an acquired friend, a crocodile. Soon they get to know each other very closely. An elephant and a rhinoceros argued about who had more strength and power. For this purpose, they thought of nothing better than to push each other. The method, of course, is so bad, but still helped to determine the winner. And that's the main thing. The naive and trusting primate apparently decided to take a dip. However, it had no idea that a toothy threat would be upon it instantly. The alligator quickly clamped onto the monkey, and it seemed that nothing could change the situation. But suddenly, at the last moment, the predator inexplicably changed its mind. This wild duck had no luck. The poor creature was peacefully resting, when instantly it was swiftly attacked by a predatory bird. Moreover, it all happened so quickly that there was simply no way to evade the enemy's claws. The beginning of the scene didn't seem to foreshadow any trouble until two bears decided to test their strength. The larger bear attempted to deliver crushing blows, like Tyson. The smaller one, on the other hand, managed to withstand the fierce onslaught of its opponent. The result? A draw. One of the hyenas spotted intruders on its territory and tried to scare them away with its hoarse and prolonged calls. It appeared more like a display of strength than an actual attack. However, the hyena-like dogs turned out to be persistent fellows and did not heed the warning. Thank you for being a part of Wild Battle. If you were captivated by the raw energy of animal rivalries, intense battles, and the primal hunt, consider subscribing and leaving a comment to support our channel.